Let's go now to Ellen Pinchuk in Moscow for more. Good morning, Ellen.
Good morning to you, Nina. Well, this lawsuit is complicated, so bear with me for just a second. Telenor, the Nordic region's biggest phone company, has just under a 30% stake in Vimpel Communications, which is Russia's second largest mobile phone company. With a 44% stake is Altimo, the telecoms unit of Alpha Group, billionaire Mikhail Friedman's company. You may remember him as one of the Russian partners in the oil company TNK-BP. Now, both sides have been in a battle over company strategy, particularly over the purchase of a Ukrainian telecoms company. Enter Farimex Products Limited, a company registered in the British Virgin Islands and a minority shareholder in Vimpelcom. That company has filed suit against Telenor, claiming that due to delays in decision-making, the company lost money. They're asking for $2.8 billion in damages. A court in the Siberian city of Omsk is expected to rule on the case tomorrow. Now, I want to say that we've extended the offer to appear here on Bloomberg News to Altimo, and we've made efforts to find Farimex products to no avail. But if you're listening now, we'd like to invite you to come in as well to talk with us. Just get in touch with our Moscow bureau and we'll arrange a time convenient for you. But for today, we have in our studio Dimitry Afanasiev. He's the chairman of Yegorov Puginsky Afanasiev and Partners and the chief counsel for Telenor. Thanks so much for being with us. So the ruling is expected tomorrow. What do you think it's going to be?
Well, I think there's a likelihood that it could be delayed. But what concerns us is the track record so far at the trial court level, which is the same trial level court in Khanty-Mansiysk, which had the infamous rulings in the TNK-BP matter. And we are also concerned about some of the injunctions that have been given by the Omsk court, which is the appellate level, just about a month ago, arresting and then rearresting and then lifting the rest of the shares. I think this whole case is an issue of rule of law, which is at the focus of the dispute. The ability of one side of the dispute to effectively deal with the Russian system and inability of the other side to get what we believe should be a fair hearing. And I'm confident that with the efforts undertaken today by the Russian Federation, we're going to see the light of day. We're going to see that justice will be administered properly.
Telenor has been speaking about trying to move this case to the Supreme Court in Moscow. How's that going?
So far, Telenor has not been successful in having this motion granted, and this is not a surprise, because in the first place, the reason the claim ended up in that small, obscure Siberian town is because it was profitable for somebody to have an artificial jurisdiction created out of thin air by having one of Alpha's own structures being sued as a defendant and later having the claim against him dismissed, but the case was already in the Siberian court. That was a simple trick by which the case ended up in Siberia instead of Moscow. And we think the venue is wrong, and it leads us to believe that there must be a reason why the case had to end up there.
We should point out again that it is not Alpha that is suing Telenor, but Farimex, correct? So do you think it is odd that Farimex says that fines ordered by the court should be paid to Vimpelcom instead of Farimex directly?
We are concerned that this could be a play aimed at effectively taking over Telenor shares in Vimpelcom, turning them over to Vimpelcom, and essentially having them extinguished, because they would be on the balance sheet of the company itself. This would effectively cause Telenor, a major public company, to lose its investment in Russia and to have the Russian shareholders end up in complete control of the company through the means which we think are not an evidence of a fair process.
If the company is fined $2.8 billion or something like that, what will you do?
Look, this is not an issue of Western versus Russian, Norwegian versus Russian. This is an issue that's internal Russian issue. And we as Russian lawyers take pride in trying to help our client, but also help Russia deal with this problem. We're going to take it all the way to the Supreme Court of Russia, and we're convinced that the justice will prevail.
If you look at the larger picture, how does this fit in with TNK-BP, with Yukos, just briefly now?
Well, there seems to be a pattern where certain elements of the national judicial system experience a particular affection for certain players. We think that this needs to be addressed.
Thank you very much. That's Dimitry Afanasiev. I'm going to send it back now to you in London.